All right, so we just ended waving hands in clouds with gather water. The next move is low single whip. So in the first section, we did drop wipe, gather water, and single whip, okay? Up about this high. Let me show you low single whip. Gather water, low single whip. You don't have to go this low, but I'll explain that in a minute. Okay? So low single whip, really the idea of low single whip is to internally feel a sinking feeling, a lower sink than normal, okay? You can sink down physically low if you want, but when you're doing this, only go as low as you feel comfortable. Don't over push it. It's tough on the knees if you push it too far. So for low single whip, if you wanted to do low single whip this low, this is fine. You just want the feel internally of sinking down low. This move and the next move are two low to, quote, low to the ground moves. I'm going to be doing mine with low physically moves just so you can see it and so we can talk about things to watch out for. But again, you do not have to sink physically that low, okay? All right, so for the most part, low single whip is very much like the regular single whip. The only challenge is going lower. So at the end of waving hands in clouds, we ended up with gather water. Mine goes blank every now and then. We're going to shift the weight to the right foot. Now when you sink down, I want you to sink straight down, keeping your torso as upright as possible. I don't want you to sink down by leaning forward. This is a form of overreaching, and if someone were to grab my wrist, I'd be easily pulled off balance. Bad for your balance, it puts strain on your back, it's tough on the knees. So when you sink down, waving hands in clouds, boom. When you sink down, sink straight down, only as low as you can, and then reach out with the left foot diagonally behind you. Heels are going to end up on a northeast to southwest diagonal line. So heel goes down, toe opening up, and then sweep out, just like single whip. Important to make sure that your knee does not go past your toe. Even more important when you're sinking down low, okay? It is harder on your knee if you're sinking down low, so do not let the knee go past the toe. Likewise, do not let the knee collapse inward. Those are two big knee health issues. So single whip, right toe comes in if I can, and then hip hitch and press. And that's low single whip. Let me do it one more time, and then I'm going to do it in all the different directions. So, waving hands in clouds, gather water, heel down, shift the weight, rooting down into the right foot, sinking down, foot steps out, open up, low single whip, right toe releases in, hip hitch and press, okay? So let me do it from a different angle. I'm going to turn it 90 degrees. Waving hands in clouds into gather water. Shift the weight, rooting down. Even if you're not physically sinking down low, you still want to get the feel like you're really rooting into the ground. So rooting down, stepping out, single whip. Toe comes in, hip hitch and press. Okay? To this side. Going this way. Waving hands in clouds. And gather water. Shift root down, stepping out, single whip. Right toe comes around, hip hitch and press. Again, making sure the knee does not go past the toe. And one more time. Waving hands in clouds. Gather water. Shift. Sinking down. Torso is fairly upright. Sinking down, stepping out, opening up. Toe comes in, hip hitch, and press. Okay, so that is low single whip. Again, I want to emphasize, if you don't feel like sinking down physically that low, don't, okay? I just did this, I don't know, what, 8-10 times? And I'm a little bit out of breath, I'm a little bit tired. If you're not used to sinking down low, that's going to put a big strain on your legs. So if you're practicing this at home, then moderate how low you're going, moderate how many you're doing. If you get tired of sinking down low, then do the move up high, but with an internal feel of sinking down to differentiate it from the regular single whip. Okay? So that's low single whip.